The next, discuss possible action on moratorium on wind energy conversion systems, resolution 1-6-2025B. I'll yield the floor to Heather for opening comments on that.
Yeah, so I know this topic's been a long one in the county. It's been, I think, March, April of 2022 is when this all kind of came about, where some citizens started requesting, hey, we need a moratorium, hey, there's ordinance updates you need done because they're very, very old from 2010. You know, more and more people started to come. The previous boards did not want to take any kind of an action on moratoriums. As you can see in the resolution, I know that was posted so everybody could read it ahead of time. There's been different things done. There was a zoning board moratorium hearing that was went back on November of 2022 for wind and solar. So that was both discussed, and it was pretty clear what the people wanted in that meeting. There also is, let's see, for wind particularly, the Board of Adjustment had a public hearing on November 12th to discuss one of the current projects out there. There was definitely, you could tell by the comments, there was a lot of things that, you know, unknowns, a lot of things that's not protecting the county, the people that do want the turbines, the people that don't want the turbines. The decommissioning, you know, we got to be careful to do something short term that's going to bring in money, that's going to affect us all long term. So that was some different items there. But yeah, there's some Iowa codes like section 331.302. Counties are required to compile ordinances every 5 years. And again, the wind ordinances is January 5th of 2010, that was last updated and amended. So that's very, very old. They've gotten a lot taller, a lot bigger. There's a lot more impacts than in 2010. There's, you know, some Tama County comprehensive land use plans that are out there from 1996 that have some CSR limits on there as for ag use. So there's some things like that we need to look at. So yeah, I guess specifically, let's see, we're just doing the wind one right now. So I would say I think we need to let zoning get together. They've been told not to meet for the last 2.5 years. Let's give them time to research. We have it as a resolution for indefinitely. The reason for indefinitely is we don't know how long that's going to take, right? For them to thoroughly do a good job, research other counties, they need that time to meet and to research, get the public's input, and put a new ordinance together. So we're not saying let's just do indefinitely and never look at it again. We do need to update ordinances, and we need to get them up to speed to protect this county. So we have a lot of infrastructure and national resources and good prime farmland. So yeah.
So you're moving adoption?
Yeah, I will move to adopt resolution 1-6-2025A.
It's B.
That's B.
It's B.
B.
And I'll second it.
Okay. Any further discussion?
And yes, I would like the boards to meet and to act. I agree, it's got a lot of information, but we can't keep dragging our feet. We've got to get this squared away. We've got to protect the county. And also we need to make it so that anybody who's looking to do business here understands that we're gonna protect our county. That's first and foremost. I'm done.
I have a question. Is your intent to affect either the existing wind projects that are in development at this time, Salt Creek 1 or Salt Creek 2, with this moratorium effectively stop them?
You're allowed to ask questions, but you're out of order at this point.
Well, I'm just going by Laura and Beth both interrupting people, so I didn't figure it was a big deal.
Okay. Well, you're out of order.
Okay.
I can certainly meet with you after.
That's probably not necessary.
Okay. Well, that's your prerogative.
Mark, so I do have a question on as far as our meetings, how they wish to proceed with those. I need guidance from the board on how to contact my board, what they need to discuss. That is a question too that comes to my mind. Okay, how does that affect? Because I need to report back to the energy companies as far as phase December. So I've gotta seek the legal advice and the, so we do this all right.
Yep.
It's all done
Yeah.
proper, as far as how we need to proceed with this and
Yep.
where
I mean,
where we stop and everything, you
If you
know.
read the resolution, it's, I mean, I don't know if we can even read some of those terms, but it's any with no permits, like, so it means if you don't have a permit, then this is what this applies to, right?
Right.
Yes. So I would say if a company has a cup and a building permit, this doesn't apply, does not apply. If they don't have any of that, then again, I'm just assuming it applies,
Yeah,
but
this won't
that's
affect,
something.
basically, that won't affect phase one then, they continue with their construction then on phase one, in that case,
That's-
because they have their permits. Then the question comes in, the Board of Adjustment has to meet on the CUP application. Do we proceed with that? And they meet, and they say yay or nay?
That's a legal question.
I think
Yeah,
we need
and
to come
that's
back
what I'm
and-
saying, I will have to seek legal advice on that and see how we proceed on that.
Yep, talk to Brent on that, yep.
That probably answers your question.
Probably.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, and I can read that line item just to make sure everybody's clear, so, the Tama County Board of Supervisors wishes to enact a moratorium effective immediately upon passage on the development and construction of WEX and the application for permits relating to such development and construction of WEX for an indefinite amount of time to allow Tama County to review and update language as necessary in the Tama County Comprehensive Land Use Plan, the Tama County zoning ordinance, or both to incorporate the information and concerns that have arisen through the public meetings held by the Board of Adjustment and Zoning Commission relating to such matters, so if that clears up any too.
One of the major things that we're going to ask to be put in place is a decommissioning bond. The decommissioning bond is not in our current ordinance, and with the, recently in Jasper County, they had, found tons of blades, just sitting on the ground. And the company that was supposed to be disposing of them is bankrupt, and so that puts the county at risk. However, the DNR picked up the bill on that. But we wanna make sure that the county is not exposed to these exorbitant costs if this company goes bankrupt. So that's one of the major things that we're asking the zoning board to consider when writing the ordinance. We would also ask that the zoning board report back periodically, on their progress of these ordinances. That's all my discussion. If everybody's, okay, the motion's been moved to adopt the resolution 1-6-2025B. We'll have a roll call.
Okay, so Homer?
Aye.
Turner?
Aye.
Nibble?
Aye.
Dolan?
Aye.
And Kupka.
Aye.
So the motion is adopted. Next, discuss and possible action on moratorium on utility scale solar resolution 1-6-2025C. I would yield the floor to Heather again for opening comments.
Yeah, so the solar topic, I think it's been going around since about last March is the topic. I mean, obviously further, there was requests for moratoriums in both wind and solar, but the supervisors took it upon themselves to kind of create a temporary, ordinance and to have a public hearing. That was back on May 9th of 2023. So there's some of those activities that were done as well as that zoning board moratorium hearing on, November 29th of 2022. The problem with utility scale solar, I'll call it, there's a lot of names, you could say industrial, you could say utility scale, over 50 kilowatt, is we don't have a current ordinance for that large of a solar system. So we need to make sure, personal solar is completely fine. If people want personal solar, that's not what we're referring to here. We're referring to the large mass acres that are put into industrial solar. And so kind of the same thing, I know zoning's already meeting, but we wanted an official moratorium, because what happens with the moratorium is it puts a pause, it puts a timeout, let's just no permits can come in, because right now, if a solar company submit a permit, we have no ordinances, so that it would just, they would get it, because we don't have anything protecting us, so that's something, it gives them time, I know it's already taken them a while, and that's okay, cause solar's pretty new, you know, and we've had some of those, I've sat in on those solar meetings, you know, there's not even many that have been decommissioned yet, right? So we don't know what risks are out there. I don't personally wanna be the first one on some of these things, right? It's good to learn from other counties and just make sure we continue to meet. So to your point, Bob, we're gonna have to kind of figure out, you know, there's the solar you guys are already working on with the zoning team, there's gonna be wind, you know, what order they do it together. We have to figure all that out, you know, we're just trying to at least get the moratoriums in place today. And, you know, the comprehensive plan will need to get looked at, there's a lot of work on the table for the zoning to work on, so.
And
So
the
we're looking-
comprehensive plan is on the agenda for the next meeting here.
For the next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay,
Is that tonight?
No, this one tonight
be-
is for the Board of Adjustment.
Okay.
okay, you're
That's
saying
for
next
building
meet,
permits.
next Monday, we'll
For
discuss
the
it.
board, for the zoning board, yeah, not
Okay,
the Board of Adjustment, yeah, that is on the agenda
Yep,
for
for
the
us,
zoning
next
board,
week.
for the comprehensive. plan.
Okay. yeah, cause we need to update all of these for sure, so, again, it's the same thing as the other one, it's kind of that same language, it's indefinite, let's give them some time. They are already working on it, they're gonna continue working on it, I think you have a meeting the 29th of this
Correct.
month, go ahead and keep it, let's keep moving forward and let's get this thing updated, so. Yeah, I think that's all I got, so I would, move to, make a motion to approve resolution 1-6-2025C.
Been moved?
I'll second it.
Which one?
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. I'll second it. Just put Kurt. Yeah, just put Kurt.
Which one, yeah, there
You'll have to cover it.
Okay. Been moved and seconded to approve the resolution 1-6-2025C, discussion of the board.
Yes, I got called by the solar folks on Friday. And this goes back to my other comment on the previous one. We need to move rather quickly, but we've got to be very diligent in getting this information down. They're at the point where they've got about $1 million holding up access to the power line. So they've gotta make a decision on whether or not to fish or cut bait. Those are my words, to fish or cut bait. I'm fine with that, but I just wanna point out to the folks in the county and to us, we need to make sure that when we make decisions, we go down the path, and we need to go down the path quickly, but we can't make mistakes as we go. So that's, I guess, Bob, that maybe gets put in your court a little bit. You know, these boards have got to meet, and they've got to do due diligence, and then get back to us.
And then they have been advised, by legal counsel and so on.
Okay.
They need to keep up with that. The other question that arises is, how much time do we want, I mean, these are volunteer boards, and they're putting in a lot of their own time and money with traveling and looking at things on their own, and doing a lot of research, and they're doing a very good job. The thing I don't wanna see is if it's the consensus of the people of the county and the Board of Supervisors that, well, we don't want to have solar or wind in place, then it needs to be simplified so they're not going to all this work for nothing. And, you know, if the ultimate goal is no, we don't wanna have any more built, then it needs to be simplified. So that's just put into place and they're not having to meet and go through all of this stuff for nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't believe that that's what these moratoriums are addressing.
Right, yeah, and I just wanna make sure that, you know, if they don't want it, I mean, that's up to the people.
I think
And
the
so,
direct,
I just always want guidance on, hey, how do we need to proceed, what can I tell the board, what do they need to continue on? And they've been doing a fine job on all this, so if they continue the way they are, you know, that's fine, I just don't want them wasting their time.
yep,
You understand what I'm saying, because it costs us out of the budget over $300 each meeting just to publish stuff in the paper, and then we have mileage reimbursement and everything, so it's expensive. We do 2 meetings a month, it adds up.
in my opinion, it's not a waste of time to update ordinances or to create a new ordinance.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm saying, I didn't wanna be doing a whole bunch of work when the ultimate end is going to be, oh, we're just not going to allow it. I
We
understand.
need ordinances, period, and that's what these are, it's halting and directing the boards to be able to meet, without having the